girls. So today we're talking about how to set healthy boundaries. Step one, name your limits. If you don't know your limits, how do you expect people to know them? Step two, tune into your feelings. Look at your relationships and your friendships and figure out what exactly makes you okay. If you don't like for people to yell at you, then set that boundary. Don't yell at me. Even when we're having a heated discussion, then maybe we should just come back together. For example, I remember when my mom and I would have conversations, and in the midst of the conversations, she would fuss and overtalk me. And I learned that that was a trigger for me. So, with me, if you're mad at me, call me back when you're calm, because it's not okay to cross lines, cuss, say names that you're not supposed to be saying, and go completely ham. I can't tolerate that. I can't do that, and you shouldn't either. The next thing, when you tune into your feelings and you make a list of what's going to be acceptable into your life, make that be across the standard across the board. A lot of times when you don't have boundaries, you open the door without even realizing it for narcissists and for wolves to come into your life. There's no gatekeeper. You're not even giving it to God, because biblically based relationships have boundaries. And when you don't have those boundaries in place and you go, I used to say all the time, I would never do that to them, so why would they do that to me? Easy, easy, easy. They'll do it to you. If they don't have the heart for God and God's people and for the way things should be appropriately, then you'll probably catch the butt end of a narcissist or a person with narcissistic personality disorder. The next thing, be very direct. When you encounter your friends and they say things to you, they cross the line, they jab, they do different things, even with family, even with parents, you have to set boundaries. You have to, I'm sorry, my hands are hitting, I'm so passionate about this. You have to set boundaries. You have to decide, you can't do that over here. I had to learn how to set boundaries with my mother, and it was very hard because I come from a Southern family. You'll get popped, even as an adult, saying something to your mom that's out of line. But what I learned is when I didn't set those boundaries and I didn't go, you're not going to say that to me, it became a thing to where I was constantly disrespected. I didn't understand. Or I had friends where I would filter everything I said to them because I honored and respected them, but they would say crazy things about my spouse or crazy things to my kids, or there was no limits, there was no boundaries, there was no thought process of how would this make her feel. So you have to think about that. Do you have those friends that say, I got your back, but I'm just brutally honest and I just got to keep it real? Those are the people you have to set the boundaries with, because you will lose your voice in relationships like that easily. Give yourself permission to feel guilt. Give yourself permission to go, oh, shoot, boundaries are hard because I don't want to offend people and I don't want to hurt people. And it's good to keep that compassion, but you have to put your foot down and say, you know what? Now, that's not what we're doing. If you have someone that can't, and you've expressed those boundaries and they can't stop, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. If you cannot put those things in place, then you're going to continue to have bad relationships. The last, prepare to be rejected. There will be people that enjoy the friendship with you because you didn't have boundaries and because you didn't know how to stand up for yourself. And if you lose those friendships, those weren't the people you wanted to keep anyway. So your new normal may look completely different, but after so long, I promise you, people will go, oh, shoot, I can't say that to her. She'll go crazy. She'll cut me out of her life. And you'll be a lot happier. Your heart will be protected. And guess what? When you set those boundaries, it releases you from unforgiveness, because now there's a border of don't come over here with that. rather than sitting, seething, angry, holding in all of these unhealthy emotions that you were doing when you didn't have your healthy boundaries in place. Now that you have them, you can let it go like frozen. So now I challenge you at the end of this toxic relationship series to sit down after everything you've learned and set boundaries in writing first to build your confidence of every person that may be a narcissist. Some people you may not be able to cut out completely out of your life, but set boundaries of what's going to be acceptable. And to ensure that you don't have unforgiveness in your heart, say a prayer for those people. Be bold enough to pray for those people for every day for 30 days until God gives you wisdom on how to effectively cut them out of your life or how to effectively communicate with them without falling into the pit of offense. You got this. Have a good night.